Today we're going to be making an axe. Let's get started.
In order to make the fire, we must make the wood to be at the right proportions. So here we are building what will become our fire. Add the coal to the pile of wood, and paper, and cardboard. Do you know this is all trees right now? Trees have created this entire bit of fire here for us. Well, that and a little map gas. Look at that. Isn't fire neat? I mean, as long as it's under your control and you're on the right side of it, fire is really interesting. Very entertaining. It's also very terrifying if you are on the wrong end of flame. Do you know one of the most painful ways to expire from this world? No, the most painful way is fire. Your body keeps you conscious the whole time. It's the adrenaline. There is no escape. Right now we're forging what will be the bit of the axe. The bit is what we call the portion of the axe that does the cutting. This will be the hardened edge. In order to make it that, first we must heat it up real good and beat it into its shape. We're creating a taper. One side is a little bit more narrow than the other. Right now we are prepping what will be the body and the eye of the axe. This style of axe is called a wraparound. You will understand why here in a moment. See? You wrap it around. Not make a Jim Leahy wraparound. That's very different. That man is the liquor. No, this is a wraparound style axe. So now that we have the eye, we form what will be the body and where the bit will go into. There we go, down. There we are. Putting the bit in. You can see it's tapered, and that taper allows it to have a more bulbous towards the edge and narrow towards the middle. This allows us to properly weld it in. You want more mass for the welding. More mass means more weld. It means more heat stays in your metal, and your weld will be a far more easily achieved. So you get it super hot, almost to the point where it's melting, and then you beat it into shape. Trying to use my Ozo tools, fullering tool, a blacksmith magician. This was given to me by Ozo Tools, so thank you very much. Shout out to them. And it's awesome, like absolutely awesome. If you don't have a blacksmith magician and you are a blacksmith, you are missing out on a very, very useful piece of tooling. You can see it's becoming far more consolidated now. So much so that we can start working on the eye of the axe. Here we are. Making sure everything. Oof, that hurt. Scale. Look at it all popping off. All that scale, that is very, very hot stuff. When it lands on you, it burns. There's two things you can do when scale lands on you and burns. Stop what you're doing and deal with it, or let it burn and keep working. I chose the latter. Now we want some of the welding moving up higher. We've got the bit welded in now. We want the body of the axe welded together nicely. This is something that I learned how to do better over time, of course, as everything is. But I have an axe that I have refined and made better that is currently up for sale on my website, vikingorblood.com. But one of the things that's very key telling about it, that it was an earlier axe that I had made out of a farrier's rasp, is that where the eye is, it didn't weld 100%. And so when I wedged the handle in there, it created some separation. I've tested it, the axe still works perfectly well, but I mean, it doesn't look as good as it should. And it's because I failed to do that proper welding up close to the eye. Now, We got it very close here, so let's cut it a little bit closer to shape. We've forged it as much as it could be forged here at this point. Isn't that satisfying? Something about the speed of this. Like, this takes a while to do. And it takes seconds to watch. I originally made this video without any information back in 2018. That's how old this video actually is. Honestly, I think I used to make better videos in 2018. I can learn a lot from my own stuff. Just start doing what I used to do again. I like some of my videos that I make now too. I should just do more of the good, and well, I guess that's true for everybody. You can see it's starting to get a really interesting look.
This delamination.
Yeah.
This goes through all the way to the other side. You may have noticed.
Did not properly weld there,
I was grinding
unfortunately.
This.
Less mass.
I was hoping I was going to be able to grind past it. Perhaps it was just on the surface and it was welded underneath, but that is not the case. So
sad.
This is a fatal flaw. We cannot have that in this
that will
axe.
break.
As you can see, I got a line here. Gonna cut out that part. Do a little bit more reforging and bring this back into an axe again, because right now it's a piece of scrap.
It is said that there are no mistakes in blacksmithing, only rapid redesign. Blacksmiths don't make mistakes. We just make shorter knives, or axes in this case. It hurts watching me do that, as hours of work, cut off with an angle grinder in minutes. But it still turns out really actually quite nice, and even better, honestly, I think, than it would have turned out originally. I was going for more of a fantasy style, but well, this ended up turning out far more true to history, so honestly better. So the rapid redesign wasn't a mistake, it was just the steel telling me what it wanted to be. Always listen to your metal. It'll speak to you, if you have ears to listen. I was skirting disaster there. I let that steel get a little bit on the cold side, but everything turned out just fine, so it was all right. But still, made me a little nervous even just watching it back over again. It was 6 years ago. Amazing. And the file skates! Yay! Why did I not do this before I hardened the steel? I have no idea. Mistakes were made. Always do your filing and grinding and final profiling before you harden the steel. Hand sharpening this was a chore. I have learned since to do most all of my sharpening with power tools. Honestly, I get a far sharper edge with a grinder and buffing wheels than I do with stones. Not to say that you couldn't get sharper with stones and all of that, but and I get hair shaving sharpness. And it takes me a fraction of the time.
Well, there we are. Mild steel, high carbon bit, 5160 spring steel used for that. And yeah, that'll do. We had a little bit of issue with not quite getting 100% of a weld right here and right here, which is apparently very common. Something that I've also encountered on every one of these axes, style of axes that I have made. You can see it definitely welds all the way through. The bit is properly welded in there as well. It will work very well. And that's what we're about to find out. This is some old maple, good hard wood.
nice.
No visible damage to the edge. None, that's good. All right. Everything held up? No wiggles. Good. Very good. Nice and straight. I like this axe. It'll work well. Here we are, all complete. That was, well, the first part, I didn't have high hopes. But now seeing as we are here, all finished, very happy with it. Well, that's all from me today. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please do leave a like, comment, and let me know what I could have done better in the forging of this axe. There was certainly a good deal of lessons to be learned for me in the making of it, and hopefully you'll have some suggestions that will further that knowledge as well. Anyhow, thank you all very much for watching. May the force serve you well.
This video today has been brought to you by the power of trees. This, my kindling, tree. Paper, trees. Cardboard, trees. Coal, trees. That and my patrons. Thanks, guys.